Okay, hello everyone.
Recording is on.
Hello everyone. So let's start today's session. So first, I want to talk about like what we have covered till now and what we are going to do today. Okay, so uh, we have covered introduction to Docker means what is Docker and what is the difference between virtual machines and Docker and simple basic architecture like daemon and client and API, and then we have installed the Docker C, that is community edition in on CentOS and Ubuntu, and then we have just simply run one hello world container and some basic commands that is used to just play around with the container. And in the second session we have covered Docker images, what it is and how we use this image to run a container. And then we have created our own Docker file and using the Docker file we have created our own images. Okay, and we have also run the container from that image and some commands to manage the image, like how to check the history and how to remove the images, and if the images is already referenced by any container, then how we can remove it. To remove the image that is referenced by any container, we have to use -f. That means we forcefully want to remove that image. But after removing that image, it doesn't mean that the image will remove from your host. Actually, in last session means at yesterday's session, I have shown about how these images work when we just force remove the image. So we have done some troubleshooting on that, and we have concluded some we got a conclusion like if we remove a image, actually the image will be there on your host, and the container that is running using that image will not affect, means it will be running. And if you stop that container and then if you start it, it will again start and it will run. So what happens then when we check the image, then we found that tag has been removed but the real image was there, and we can when we check, we are able to match the image ID, means whatever written in the image while running the container, and what is written in the when we are listing our image. So both are the same, the container image is using the same thing. So today what we are going to do is, in last session I have shown you there are multiple layers of image. Okay, so today we will learn how to make a image in a single layer. So we will just learn how to make it as a one layer, and then we will also learn about how to build a efficient image. Okay, so I will tell you how to remove the old one that is not needed, like in last session I have created docker file, and we have created an image using Dockerfile. So how we will actually make a single layer and in an efficient manner. So we are not using the old data that is not any use of the for the container, but for the image, but it is there. So we will learn how to remove that, and then simply we will install a Docker registry, that is our own registry. Means uh, earlier we are pulling the image from the host, sorry, from the Docker hub. Okay, so that is a public registry, you can say. and you can also only pull the images that is publicly available on hub.docker.com or officially available. Okay, so if there is any private image that is present on Docker Hub, then you cannot pull that image. So today we will install our own Docker registry, and we will learn how to pull the image from the own Docker registry and how to push to the Docker registry. Okay, so there are some images that you don't want to just put it on public or on hub.docker.com for your privacy. You just want your own registry, and you want to pull and push that image to the private registry. Okay, so there are many concerns to use this, and this is very simple step to create a registry. It is simple as we are going to run it as a container. So today we'll see how the container is really used in the uh, real scenarios. Okay, so today we will learn a registry using a container, and then we will learn how to log into a registry, and after that this is the same thing, means how we will log in and how we will uh, push and pull the images. And other thing is, we have in earlier session, means the first session, I have shown you one uh, thing, that is DTR, that is Docker Trusted Registry. So that is not free. So if you are using an enterprise edition, then you will get that DTR. So you have some additional advantage, like giving some role-based access management and web application. So just let me show you. I have that machine running on my cloud server. So let me show you that once, and then we will start our session. So this is, you can see this UCP worker with DTR. So I have installed DTR on this server, and if I go to the public IP of this, you will see Docker Trusted Registry. So this thing means installation of Docker Trusted Registry and Docker Enterprise Edition. Those we will learn in at last, means when everything is covered, then we will learn about the Docker Trusted Registry and Docker Enterprise. So then I will show how to install it. Okay, so this is a simple web interface. Here you can create your own registry, and there are some users you can see here. So you can manage the role-based access control from here. So those are some additional things that you get in Docker Trusted Registry. Okay, so to show the demonstration, I have to delete this Docker registry because I don't have any available cloud server, so I cannot create a new server. Because to show you, I should have at least two server. One is on which I have a CentOS Docker installed, and other is for registry. So just I have to delete it. So let me stop this one, and then I will create a uh, new server, and I will install registry, means not I will install, but I will run a container that is of registry container. So then we will log in from this server to this one. Okay, to pull and push the image. So it will take some time. So meanwhile we can learn about how to flatter image into a single layer. Okay, so let me log into this server. So let's use the web console, because yesterday there was some issue with the web console, so I have to use PuTTY. So just log into the server and create some image. So to list the image, we have command docker image ls, right? I hope you remember these commands. Okay, So we have two images right now. One is custom in the next that I have created yesterday, and this one is the official image of Ubuntu Bionic. Okay. So if I want to see the layer of this custom Nginx image, I have to run docker image history and then the name of the image, or you can give the image ID as well. So here you can see there are multiple layers. Okay, for every command there is one layer created over here, right? So how we are going to make it in a single layer? Okay, so to do that, first we have to run a container using this image. Okay, so let me just clear my screen and let's see there any container already running. So docker container ls, or you can also use docker ps, and to list all the containers -a. So we have two containers that is in stopped state. So if I want to remove both the containers, then I will run command docker container prune. So please be aware of this command, and while running this command you must have 100% sure like you are only deleting the stopped containers, means the stopped container is no longer in use. Okay, so here I know I don't want to use this container onward, so I just deleted all the both containers. Okay, so there should not be any container. Okay, so now we have this image, and I want to make this image, instead of multiple layer image, I want to make it a single layer. Okay, so to do that, first we have to simply run this as a container. Okay, so to run this as a container, the simple command we have is docker container and -d for detach mode, and I want to give a name that is a, we can say, flat. Okay, flat image or flat container, then we will make an image of it. So then we will write flat simply, flat container, and I want to use this. Oh, okay, so I want to use this image to run this flat container. So I missed something. Oh, sorry, I write docker container, so I have to run the container, so I have to write docker run. So just I want to confirm, like am I audible, and everyone is able to see my screen? So anyone can confirm?
Yes, Sarabjit. Shishir.
Yep, thank you. So docker run and then the image name. Okay, so this is the container that is running using custom nginx image. So what should we do next? Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to export this container, this flat container, it's like we are taking a backup like this. So we are exporting this container as a archive. So what we will do is we will do Docker, okay, Docker export, and then uh, the container name means which container you want to uh, export. So Docker export, and then container name is flat container. So I think, yeah, spelling is correct. And then I want to export it to a archive file. So I just want to give it a flat uh, archive, okay, dot tar. So tar is used, tarball, it is used for archive in Linux, so another system as well. So we are exporting this container, okay, container is running, so we are exporting this container to a tar archive. Okay, so just hit enter, it will export that container, means whatever inside the container it will export it as a archive. So if I just list my directory, here you can see we have this flat archive.tar, right? So now go ahead, and what we will do, we will import this as a image. Sorry, now we are going to import it. So first we have exported, and now we are going to import it as a image. So what we will do, we will cat the file. So what file name is this one, okay. So cat means it will list all the details on data of that flat archive.tar. And then what we will do is docker import. So we are importing that tar file as a
Hello, Sarabjit. Sarabjit, can you hear me, Sarabjit?
Rakesh, Shishir here. I just pinged to Sarabjit. It seems like a connection issue from his end.
Yes, right. For me also, I am not able to see screen.
I think for we all it is same. So Sarabjit is trying to fix it. I just pinged him. He is working on it.
Okay, thank you.
hello everyone, I back up. So now am I audible?
Yes, Arjun.
So let me share my screen once again. So sorry for the connectivity issue. Nowadays the Vodafone and Idea, I don't know what happened with them. There's okay. So you are able to see my screen now.
Yes, Sarabjit.
Yes, Arjun.
Okay, thank you. So let's start. once again. So I need to log in. Okay, so where are we? So we are flattening the image in a single layer. Okay, so we have a container that
So
is running.
Sarabjit,
Yes,
Sarabjit here, I have a quick question over here. So you are
yes, yes.
flattening a file. So I mean you are putting a running container, right?
Yes, yes.
So take up a case like say I mean I'm creating some file or I'm updating a file at that time, and at the same time you are moving a file, you are flattening the file, so there won't be a issue. I
No,
think there
no.
won't
Just when you are flattening an image or something, doing like this, you are not running that container in a production, right? Because you are working in a development. Because right now you are just creating that image, correct? So,
yeah,
in
okay.
the last session, I have shown you while we are creating the image, means custom image using Dockerfile. You see there was a container, that is intermediate container, that was there. Okay, so
Yes, yes.
to do these things we have to run that image as a container. Okay, so because of that I was saying that container is a writable image. So whatever you have to do something with the image, you should have to first run it as a container, and then whatever you want to perform action on that you can, right? So in the next I think objective I will show you, to do something I have to run that image as a container, and then I am able to do something with that. Okay, so if you want to, like, your question is if someone is editing that file or something, then it might be lost. But here is the thing, means if you are flattening an image, it means that image is not referenced right now. Okay, these things should be done in the development team, means it should be done by a developer, or you are not actually there is no any container that is running on the production. So if there is any container that is running using that image, so you have to do it with a new container. Okay, so no one knows, like, we have a new container and we are working, so you have the knowledge about that container. So you got your answer, or should I explain more?
No, no, Sarabjit. I got. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So now we have, I don't remember, like, the command was run on. So let me just see docker image ls. Okay, so that command was run. So the command was like, uh, let me show you the. So we have archived this. This is the archive file of this container. Okay, so we have export this running container in a tar file. Okay, and then we run command cat, means I want to get the data of this archive, and then import this as a new image. Okay, so a image that has only single layer. So import, and then the whatever image name you want to give. So I have given custom image, so that's the reason we have this image. Okay, so just I'm not going to run this command once again. I want to show you. So now we are going to check the layer of this new image. So docker image history, and then this image. So now you can see imported from dash. Okay, so Now we have only single one layer, but you know there is no difference with the size. Size is will be same, little bit just simple, 1 or 2 MB, 3 MB less, but size will not be differ in this scenario. So to for that, if you have you have a large image, then in where we use a in efficient manner to create a image, so that I am going to show now. So in that scenario, our file image image size will also decrease. Here you can see image size is not that much differ, but in the next scenario that I am going to show you, in that we are going to make a efficient image. Okay, so to do that, let me create one Docker files once again. Okay, so any question with that? I think it's a simple thing. Just we are exporting in as a archive, and then we are importing as a simple image. Okay, that is a flat image. So next thing is we are going to make a new Docker file, and in which I will show you first. I will show you with the inefficient, and then I will show you the efficient one. Okay. Where it is? Just give me 1 minute. Okay. So what we will do is just simple create a new directory. So there should not be any confusion. So I will write it as a inefficient okay. So first we will create a image in inefficient manner. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to create one application, simple application that will print hello world. Okay, but it is the file, it is in what's called Go language. So I am not that much familiar with Go language, so I'm just copying paste that thing I was searching because I just mess up. So just let me create one file that is hello world.go. Okay, so this is the file, and I am just going to copy paste the data that we need, and then I will explain you. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. So something over here I need to change. So this is package. Okay. So this is called package main, and import fmt. I think that is a class, and then the function we have is simply print ln and hello world. So this is a file, the Go language file that I am going to save. Okay, so we have this Go file, and what we will do is we will create a Docker file with the Alpine image. Okay, before that we need to compile this file, okay, to run. So first I just want to delete the This is not related to what we are doing right now. So let me delete this and I will create a new server because I have to show you about the registry. So just let me create that one, so it will be fine because it takes some time. Okay, so server history, create server. So today we are again going to install the Docker on it first. Okay, so let it create. And okay, so let's go back to our scenario. So here we have a hello world.go. Now what we will do is we will create a Docker file, because to create an image, custom image, you should have Dockerfile. So vi Dockerfile, and what we are going to paste over here is simply, I'm just going to copy paste because to save the time. Oops. Okay, so what's going over here? I think one image extra. So from let me just take it to the center. So this is from that I have explained already, from Golang. So this is the base image that we are going to use over here. Okay, so this will compile this hello world.go. Okay, so first we will change the directory of this Golang to hello world. So this hello world directory will not be there, but when we change it, it will automatically create it. And then copy the current hello world.go that we have just created from our current directory. So this is dot, and then we are going to compile it. So this is the command to compile this hello world.go. Okay, and then we are going to run this as a command. So we will get a hello world and on our screen. So this is the name. Okay, so simply I think there is no question. I hope so. Just save this file. Okay, now I have this Docker file, and just I want, if someone can just say the command to create a new image. If you remember, means anyone has remembered that command, what is that? If someone can help me for that. So it should be Docker, and then what we use. Hello. So are you with me, or is there an network connection once again?
Yeah, with you, Sarabjit. No issue.
Okay, okay. Okay, so I was asking about, I thought, due to network connection, I thought I am going ahead and you are just not able to communicate with me. So what will the command is Docker build, okay, and then T for tag, and I will say it as the inefficient image, okay, and then I have to give the uh, path where is my Docker file. So Docker file is in current directory, so I have given dot. Okay, so just run it. So Golang is not present on my local host, so it will first download that. Okay, so it will take some time. So anyone have any question till now? If you have, you can ask meanwhile. So I hope I have already explained these things, like every time it will, create one image, and then using this image it is going to run a container, and inside that container it is going to change that directory, and after changing that directory it is going to remove this container. So because of that, this the id is same. Okay, and these ids of image, so these are the image that is created intermediately. Okay, so these are the images over here. At the last you can see this image id, so this is the final image. So if I just list docker image ls inefficient image, okay, so you can see the id and this id is same because this is the last image. So we can conclude like these are the images that is intermediate that is created, and if you want to see those images you can. So to do that you have to run image ls-a. So these are the images that is created intermediately. So can we find this one f676e over here, and there is no tag and nothing on this image. Okay, so using docker image prune we can delete these images, right? Okay, so now let me clear my screen first. And what is here? So now you can see the image size is about 784 MB, right? So it is very big image, about 1 GB. But when I started docker, so I said we have a very less image size. Because of that it is a lightweight and it will not take much resource of your computer. Okay, but here it is about 1 GB, and we have just created one uh, program that is going to print hello world. Okay, so try to understand over it. So what goes wrong? So let me explain you the next one. So if you want to just run a container using that image, that we can do. So docker run -d, let me without -d, and then because it is going to stop after running that hello world. So I think we should do docker run. Let me run it in detached mode because we have used -cmd and then hello world. So docker run -d and name inefficient container, and then the name of the image, paste. Okay, so the image is running. Okay, so this is not the image that is running actually, that I said if we use -d it is not going to show anything. Okay, so let me remove this -d and just let me give another name, one. So now you can see hello world. Okay, so over here you are not able to see the hello world, but if you want to see that, then you can just use docker and then log and then the name of this id. So let me just show you. I'm not sure because docker logs and then the id. Okay, so you can see here So if you want to see the output of any container, that is just run for single time and then it's exited, then what is the output of that container? To see that, you have to run this docker logs. Okay, so that is this is not going to see the means show you the output of that, but also the logs, is whatever is generating by that container. So because there is nothing, so it is just showing hello world. So if I check the log of this container that is running about 25 minutes, then you will see more data of log. Oh, there is no logs generated. Okay, so there should be a log to be generated. So that thing I will show you in the next objective. Okay, so now you can see we have 784 MB of image. How we are going to remove that? Means we are going to decrease the size of the image. So to do that, I have to just let me come out of this directory and create one new. So make directory efficient. I'm doing because I have to update the same Docker file. So last session I have done that mistake. So mkdir efficient, and then let me go to that directory, and here again I am going to do the same thing but in a different manner. Okay, so just let me copy paste that last image. So first I have to create that hello world.go, right? So where it is, vi hello world.go. Okay, and let me copy paste the data, because I am not able to remember this thing. Okay, because let me just edit it at the top. I don't know why. So it should be and package. Okay, so now it's good. Let me come out of here. So what we have done is we have created once again hello world.go. Okay, and now we are going to create our docker file in a new manner, that is also called multi-stage docker file or multi-stage build. Okay, multi-stage means we are going to use the two-stage image docker file, and in the first image we are going to compile that the whatever the package we have, that is hello world.go, and then we are by using that image that is created by that the first stage, we are going to use that in the second stage. Okay, so uh, we are not going to just take that Golang. Let me just show you first the docker file so you will understand better. So docker file. Okay, so let me copy paste the data and then I will explain you line by line. Okay, so here what we are doing is from Golang, same thing. Okay, this is the base image and we are saying this as compiler. So this part from here to here, it will work, it will create one image that is as compiler. Okay, so uh, again in the next thing we are going to do the same thing, means running the same, you know, after creating means after compiling this hello world.go file, this Golang image is not longer use of mine, means we don't going to use it in the container, because we are just using this image to compile our code, right? So after compiling, we are not using it. In the first session, I have said like all the necessary things will be included in the image, right? So this Golang is going to be the part of that image what we have created. So it is not able to, it is not going to used by any container, means there is no use of this Golang image after compiling the hello world.go. So I don't want to keep it with my new image, means the image that I am going to use, means. So to do that, what we have done, we have to do it as a multi-layer or multi-stage build. So first I will compile this hello world.go using from uh, Golang image, base image, and then I will say it as a compiler. Okay, so this build is going to work as a compiler. So I have just given a name for future reference. So to to use it as a future reference, you have to give it as a name, and you have to write this directory as. Okay, so from Golang as compiler, and from here to here we are going to compile the data, and whatever the output of this uh, build, we are going to use it in the next stage. So here again I am going to use from Alpine. Okay, so I am going to run it on a simple, or you can say uh, small image. Okay, so I am going to run it on Alpine, and then I'm going to change the directory to root, and going to copy this from compiler. Okay, so whatever is the output of this build stage, first stage, it is going to use that over here, and it is going to copy to hello world slash hello world. Okay, so what will happen, this base image is not going to include with our main image. Okay, this is called multi-stage. So actually, if you are in the administrator, Docker administrator, means you don't have to worry about this multi-stage, but you should have a knowledge, little bit of knowledge. And if you want to go deeper in this multi-stage, you can, if you are a developer. But I think otherwise there is not much use of this multi-stage container, because the image is going to developed by the developer team, not by you. Okay, so this is a multi-stage build. So now I'm going to save this file and going to create a new build, a new image. So Docker build -t, and then I can say this is efficient image, and then from the current directory. Okay, so now you can see these are the cache, that is these images are already present, so it is going to use the cache. Okay, and from here whatever the new thing, that is pulling Alpine image that was not on my host, so it pulled from the hub.docker.com, and then run it as a container and change the working directory. Okay, but these are used by the cache because the image was already there in our system. Okay, so just list the new image. Okay, so this is the new image, efficient image, and see the size of this image, right? So it will work the same way as inefficient image, but it has only 7 MB of image. Okay, so you can just it is about 100% decrease in the size, right? So let's run a new container with this image. So docker run and then d, or we can use, I want to output the data on the terminal. So docker run hyphen name efficient container, and then the image name is, let me copy paste. Okay, so the output is same, but you can see the difference in the size, right? Because this image has included that uh, Golang base image. Okay, so in this image, Golang base image is included, and because of that, the size is very big. Okay, so I hope you have a better understanding about the image, multi-stage image. So, you know, in real scenario, actually, there are some files, those are temporary files, and there are multiple scenario where you don't want that data in the next stage. Okay, so you can run it as a uh, one stage, and you can name it as using as and whatever name you want to give, and then from the output of that first stage you can use it in the next stage. Okay, so let me show you once again.
Sarabjit, I cannot see your screen. Just, just want to
Okay,
check whether.
no,
Hello.
I think connectivity is good. So anyone have any issue still, or
No, sir, Abdul, I can able to see. No problem. From
okay,
my
so
end.
it might be from your end.
Okay, okay, let's check.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. So here you can use hyphen from to use the output of the last stage in your next stage. Okay, so with this multi-stage we can reduce the size of the image. So whatever not going to use in the next stage, we just uh, keep it, or on, means we are not going to take it further. Okay, so by doing that we can reduce the image size. So this is very useful for developer, because you have to create a lightweight image. Okay, so those things, I will share the link where you can dig deeper and understand more directives that is used in multi-stage. This is simply two-stage build, but I want to show the difference between the inefficient and efficient image. Like what is the difference between the size? Okay, so this is very important to understand to create an efficient image, right? Okay, so I think two objectives had been done, and now we are going to create our own registry. Okay, that is the next part. So just let me log out of over here and work on the different machine. I think logout will not work. Exit. Okay, so guys, if you have any question, you can ask right now. So I will clear the, because we are going to work on the next part, that is repository, that is different thing. So if you have any question, you can ask right now. So it is a new server, so there should be some steps to use it. Okay, so let me that configure this server to use it. Okay, so first thing I have to change the password. So on this machine we are going to install Docker. So you will have a revision of the how to install Community Edition on Ubuntu machine. Okay. So I think that's it. Okay, that's it. Let's install Docker on this machine. So I am going to copy the commands. I will take my time. Hello. Hello. So am I audible? Actually, there was one call, so I got disconnected. So just confirm if I am audible.
Yes, Sarabjit. We can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. So we are going to install Docker in it, and it will take about just 5 minutes. Okay. So just you can see what are the steps. I am not going to explain everything over here right now. So first thing is, whenever you are creating a new Linux machine, you have to update the machine. So sudo apt-get update. This is for Ubuntu. Okay. So here you can see it is not asked for the confirmation. That is the difference we are getting in the last session. Okay. So in Ubuntu we don't need to give the confirmation, but in CentOS, if you are updating the system, you have to give confirmation. So I have to use -y over there. And then next thing, so it is going to install this app transport HTTPS, that is prerequisite for Docker to install on Ubuntu. So that is done. And then I'm going to add the GPG key. So I think I have shared the document to install, and till the container, how to manage the container, I have just I'm not covered that Dockerfile part, so that I am going to do it today. Okay. And then the final thing, so here we have added the repository of the Docker. Okay. And then again, because I have updated the repository, so I need to update once again. Okay, that's done. So now the last command, that is going to install Docker CE, Docker Community Edition on the system. Okay, so simply there are 4 or 5 commands that is going to do the job. Okay, yeah, it's done. So to check that, I can run Docker or Docker version as well. Okay, so here got permission denied. trying to connect to Docker because I have not used sudo, so I have to use sudo to communicate with the daemon. Okay, in Ubuntu you don't have to start the service, means Docker service or Docker daemon, but on Ubuntu you have to explicitly start and enable the Docker daemon. Okay, otherwise you will get an error. Okay, so that error will say like daemon is not running, so you can simply understand from the error. So here you can see the error was permission denied. Okay, so if I want to run without sudo, I have to add my current user, that is cloud user, to Docker group. So to do that, I have a command that is sudo and user mod, means modification -aj. I am going to use with the same. A is going to add and G for group, and then Docker, and the name of the user is cloud user. Okay, to take effect, I have to just re-log in, reconnect. So cloud user, okay, I log in, what's in back. So just now if I run Docker version, I am able to see the Docker daemon as well. Okay, so sudo is not longer required. So what we are going to do is we are going to simply run a container, that is a registry container, okay, on which we are going to pull our custom image that we have created, or any image you can say, not the custom only, any image you want to push on this registry you can. So my way to show is, I will show you why it is not working, and then I will show you how to fix it. Okay, so you should be much I think you will able to understand. I will remember the things for a long time. So first I will show you how to do the wrong thing, means how we can just make mistakes, and then I will show you how to fix it. So simply I'm going to run docker run, and then I'm going to run it in detach mode, that is -d, and p to expose the port. So default port is 5000 for registry. Okay, and this part restart that I was explaining in last session. So last time I have given that unless stopped. Okay, unless stopped means if someone has stopped that container forcefully, means or with the command, then only don't restart it. In other condition you have to start it. That is a good way. Okay, because sometimes you have to stop the container, okay, while doing some maintenance or something. But today the new thing that is always, means if I stop the container it is going to start, so my container is always running. So I want that, and I have one, I think there are four. One is no, means don't restart the container, and then always means every time, and one is failed. So if the container is in failed state, then start. Okay, so in that scenario, if you just stop the container, it is going to start it once again. Okay, so recommendation is use unless stopped. So today we are going to use always, and then name of the container is, the name of the container is same registry, and the image name is also same. If you want me to give another name I can, but I think go with this registry, and then I want to run version 2. Okay, so this is the tag that is at the last. So registry column 2 that is not exist, it is going to download it from the hub.docker.com. So now if I run docker ps, here you can see, okay, we have a running container, we are running a registry using a container. Okay, so this is a simple way to start a registry, but in real scenario you are not going to do like this, okay, because there is no authentication. Okay, so if you are in a testing environment, or you don't want to give that user permission or something, and you have a very simple setup and it is in private network, then you can just run it as a simple container. But in I think in real scenario you are not going to do like this. Okay, so you have some mechanism to authenticate the registry, okay, before pulling or pushing that image. So next we are going to do that. And other thing is, we don't have any control over here, so by default it is run like this. Okay, but if you check the logs, so here I am giving the name of the container, not the image name. So it's a name of the container. So docker logs registry. So now you can see the logs, okay, because in the previous container that I was showing, again is queues. So am I reconnected? Let me check. Okay, so I am audible, right? Because I got a call once again. So when I got a call, my network changed to 3G and I'm not able to use the internet. Okay, so I hope you are able to see my screen. So here you can see the logs is showing label info, right? So if I want to change this data, means I want more details about this, not by default it will show you the info, but I want to change it. I want to see the logs, debug logs as well. So how I can do it, right? So to do that, we can override the default settings. Okay, so how we will do that, just let's see. Okay, so for to do that I have to remove the current one. So let me stop and remove the running container. Okay, so to stop, command is docker container stop and then the name of the container, and then to remove it just simply rm and then again the name of the container. Okay, so one thing I am going to use over here is -v. So you will ask why it is. So -v is used for volume. So if there is any volumes mounted by this container, that will also remove. But I think we haven't do that, so it is not useful right now. But I just want to show you. So these -v commands we will see in the when we will learn about storage and volumes. Okay. So just hit enter. So this is removed. Okay, now I want to run a container that will show the debug log as well, not only the info log. Okay, so what I will do, so whenever you are running a container, there is one YAML file as well. So if you want to edit multiple environment variables, then you can use that YAML file and you can edit that file to just understand that I will share a link, and then you can just go over that link, that document, and you can understand easily. So there is one file, YAML file, that we can edit. So right now what I am going to do, I am going to override the uh, default environment variable using the command itself. Okay, so the same command, docker run -d, and then I want to expose 5000. Okay, and the same thing, I don't want to restart always, because that is not, I am going to remove it once again. So just go hyphen name, that is the name of the container, and then E is used for change the environment variable. Okay, so I want to change the environment variable, and environment variable is in all caps. Okay, so registry. Okay, so registry is the name of the container. Okay, and in YAML file, you will see it, it is a, in the syntax of the file is different. So we have to go it through the curly braces, and so first I have to give the name. So in the YAML file, you will see the name of the container, and then you will see one more, that is log label. Okay, so first it will say log, and then inside that log you will see label. Okay, so that is the different way to write in YAML file. So those things you can learn by itself. So if you want, I will show you at the last, because it will take more time. So registry underscore log underscore label equal to, I want to change it to debug. So it is not going to just show the debug it, because by default it was showing info, but now it will additionally, it will show the debug logs as well. Okay, so now the name of the image, so registry column 2. Okay, so now if I check the log of this new container, so now you will see the debug log as well. Okay, so let's search for that. Info. If I missed something, no, let me just once again check it. Okay, so now here you can see this debug log. Okay, so you will see so this thing, why I am showing you, so you should have more understanding about the container, means how we can control the container. Because right now, in earlier containers, we have just simply run a container, and we have given uh, few flags, like how to expose the port, how to name it, how to just expose any port. Okay, how to run it in detach mode, and how to run it interactively, that is -it. Okay, so this is one more flag that we can use, that is used to change the environment variable. So with this thing you can change any environment variable that you know about that container. Okay, so you can override using this command, that is -e, and then the name of the environment variable, and it should be in caps, and then equal whatever the change you want to do. Okay, so I have changed it to debug right now. So again, I have to delete it, and right now there is no mechanism to authenticate this registry. Okay, so next I am going to show you the final command that will ask for the authentication as well. Okay, while we will when we will connect it from this other server, that is here CentOS. Okay, so when we will connect from here this CentOS server, then I will show you. Okay, so what we are going to do and what is the mechanism to authenticate this registry is, first we have to use a entry point that is, by default entry point is the registry. So if you want to see, just let me show you docker ps. So entry point dot sh, so it is simply running. So if I want to check this command, so I need to inspect it. So docker, I hope you remember this command, docker container and then inspect. So this is used to inspect container, volume, images, anything. So I need this id. Okay, so if I scroll up, you will see the entry point. What is the entry point here? Okay, so I think this is the config file, that is the argument. So this is the where it is going. Okay, so this is the entry point of this container, right? So first what we are going to do is we are going to change the entry point to go to the ht pass wd. Okay, and we using that we are going to generate a file that is ht pass wd, that is going to use for authentication. Okay, so whatever we are running right now, that means if you don't have much knowledge about ssl and httpd, okay, so just don't worry, just see, because these things are managed by the security team or someone else. Okay, so sorry guys, actually, when you are doing some good work, then you will get multiple calls, otherwise you don't. Okay, so I think you are able to see my screen right now. So docker run, just confirm once, so I will continue. So everyone is with me. Can you just confirm once?
Yes, Abhi, able to see.
Okay. Yep, thank you. So docker run, entry point is ht pass wd. So we are creating a mechanism to authenticate with the Docker registry that we have created. Okay, so Docker run entry point ht pass wd, and here if I have to do something with that image that I was talking about, and when Cesar has asked the question. Okay, so to make any changes we have to run the image as a container first. Okay, so I want to docker entry point and then registry, that is the image registry 2. Okay, and with this I'm going to generate a file, okay, authentication file, that is used by the new container. Okay, so user is test user. Okay, this is not a best practice, but right now to show you I have just doing this. So test user and password is password, and I'm going to save it in auth/h htpass wd, right? So it is going to generate a file. Okay, I think I missed something. Yeah, because right now where I am, let me see. Okay, so first what I have to do, I have to create a new directory because this auth directory is not present right now, okay, over here. So because of that I got an error. So we can do one thing, because we are working for registry, so let me just create one folder mkdir registry. So, and let me change to this directory cd registry. Okay, so now my working directory is registry. Okay, here I want to create one file that is auth. Okay, and now if I run this command once again, it will run. Okay, yeah. So if you just want to see that file, okay, sorry, it's a directory htpasswd. Okay, so this is the username and this is the password. Actually it is not in the simple human readable form, so the password is the same password but it is stored in the string. Okay, now let's go ahead and create a certificate. So you don't have to worry about these certificates because every company has their own certificate authority. Right now we are going to create our own, that is called self-signed certificate. Okay, so I think if you have not knowledge about this, then don't worry, that is not your task actually. So to do show you, I have to do that. So I have created one directory that is certs. Okay, and I'm going to generate self-signed certificate. To do that, there is a command on Linux, OpenSSL. Okay, and I'm requesting a certificate and then new key. I think let me just copy paste because that is it will take time. Okay, oh, I think I need to type this once again. Okay, now it is generating the file. So where it will put the file, this in this directory certs that we have just created over here. Okay, and it will generate one domain.cert and other one is I think domain.key as well here. Okay, so you can just skip this country name, state, local, organization. Okay, so common name I have to give. So I have to give the common name of my machine. Okay, so let me just check the public name of my machine. So here you can see my public name is this Sarabjit 2C. Okay, okay, and then just okay. Now if I, so we have two files, domain.cert and domain.key. Okay, or using this keys we are going to authenticate our registry. So again I have a big uh, command, so just let me copy and paste it and I will go through each and every line what is going over here. Okay, oops, okay. The main thing is the let me remove the old one, I think that is running. So there is a conflict with the name. Okay, so let me just remove that container. container stop and then registry and then Docker container rm registry. Okay, so now if I copy paste, it will run. Okay, so what's happening over here? Docker run -d, this thing you already know, and -p for port, and we are using 443 because now we have authentication, and we are using TLS certificate. So for that we are using 443 port. Okay, and restart is always, and name is registry. Because of this name our last command was not worked. Okay, so here -v. Okay, so we will learn more about this -v in volumes and storage, but right now just remember we are just mounting this folder, or you can say the path. Okay, so this is the path of my host. So let me just show you. Cd certs. Okay, if I do pwd, you can see. So this is the path on my host. So I am mounting this path, okay, to this path in container. So in container it is going to root and then cert. So slash is root and then cert is a folder. So here it is going to mount. Okay, and then again we are going to mount our auth folder as well. So auth folder is, I think, one level down. So if I go to auth, okay, so this is the path of my on my host. So I am mounting this path to this in the container. So okay, so this path is in the container, and then we are overriding some environment variable. So -e for environment variable, and this is registry http address. So I am saying that anyone can log in to this using 443 port. Okay, so no restriction if the talk about the address. So if you give any single IP over here, then that machine is only able to communicate with registry. And then TLS certificate. So where is the TLS certificate? I'm saying it is in under certs. Okay, so we over here. Okay, so this is under the container. So cert slash domain dot cert, because it is going to mount this host path to this cert. So it will search over here. So it is able to search this file because this file is on my host, but still the container is able to find it because we have mount that path. And then key is over here, and then authentication is ht passwd. So we are using this ht passwd realm as registry space realm, that is rem, and registry is the name of our container, I think. And then registry auth ht passwd path. Okay, so path of this is auth hd passwd. Okay, so if I ls over here, you can say this hd passwd. So we have mounted that one as well over here. So we have mounted this folder. So under that we have this hd passwd. Okay, and the last one is registry image that is going to use. So registry colon 2, that we are using from the last 3 or 4 container. So now we have a registry, our own registry, not the hub.docker.com. It's a private registry on which uh, we can pull and push the image on this directory. So it is running as a container. So now you can see the use of the container, because in earlier lesson you will say like, wow, how we will use the container. So in real scenario, if you want to use the container, you have to write that much a long command. Okay, it's not that much. So because of that, we use a docker file or a docker compose, that's called. Okay, so we use those files and we mention everything in the file itself. Okay, so you don't have to type that much command on the command line. Okay, we use JSON file to, or YAML file to give those override those environment variables and mount the path and volumes, everything. Okay, so we use mostly Docker Compose. Okay, so those things I will show you later. So now what we will do is we will go to our CentOS system. Right now we are on Ubuntu. Okay, so you can see machine name is Sarabjit Singh 2C, right? Now what we are going to do is we are going to log into this machine. Okay, so now you can see this machine and this machine has different thing. This is 3C. Okay, and on which we have a running container, registry container, that is on 2C. Okay, so let me log into this 3C. Okay, I am on 3 and we have this 2. So just let me take it on the same screen side by side so you can easily understand where the command is running. Okay, so now we are going to run command on this 3C. Okay, we don't have any container running on 3C. So if I want to see, okay, oh, okay, so this is a earlier container, so that is an Nginx container, not the registry one. Okay, so if you want to delete it, I can do one thing like docker container and then stop and just the ID. Okay, and then docker container prone. Yes, I am. Okay, okay, so there is no container running right now. Okay, and now if I see the image, so we have these 3 or 4 image. Okay, let me just, okay, now it's good. So we have these 3-4 images and some official images over here. Okay, so now we are going to connect to this registry from this machine. Okay, to do that, what I will do, the command is docker login. Okay, so if I just say docker login and enter, it will go to hub.docker.com. Okay, so if you have your own repository on hub.docker.com, then you can just use docker login and then you can just log into the Docker hub using your username and password, but right now I don't have. So just let me do Control C and I want to log into my registry. Okay, my private registry. So what I will do, docker login okay, and then the public name of this name means, you have to give your private IP address, and if you have a DNS then you can use the name as well. So the registry is installed on this machine. So I have public host name is this one. Okay, so I want to log into this server. So what I will do, Docker login and then the name of that server. Okay, so it is asking for username and password. So if I use that test user and then the password, so now you can see error response from daemon that certificate signed by unknown authority. Okay, because we have used self-signed certificate. Okay, so the CA is not it is unknown. Okay, whoever write that certificate, because these certificates are issued by some authority, but right now we have self-signed certificate. So how we are going to log in? So we have two different ways to ignore this. First is unsecure, I can say. So what I will do, I will just edit one file. Okay, so that is under at etc docker, and we have a JSON file, that is daemon.json. Okay, so I have to update this file. Okay, so there is also some, if you want to change the driver, default driver, because default driver on CentOS is device mapper. Okay, that I have told about while we are installing community edition on CentOS. So if you want to overwrite any daemon environment variable, then you have to edit this it etc docker daemon.json. Okay, it's a JSON file. So let me just edit this one. So what I am doing here, I am doing just bypassing that security, means I am saying that no, don't worry, just uh, ignore the self-signed certificate. Okay, so don't check for the authority. Okay, but in real scenario that is not the case. Okay, you should have your CA authority. Okay, certificate authority. So what I will do is I will give this insecure registry. So I am saying that what are the insecure registries. So it will take array, but right now I have only one insecure registry. So mostly why we are going to use this insecure registry? Okay, because sometimes if you want to test something, like you are not able to log into the registry, and if you want to confirm like it is due to certificate issue or some different issues, then you can just use it for just for testing purpose. Mostly it is for testing purpose. Okay, but in real scenario we are not going to use like this. Okay, so just you have the knowledge, so that you can troubleshoot the scenario. So I have to put this public name over here. Okay, so I am telling daemon that this registry is insecure registry. Okay, so don't, means I am explicitly telling that uh, don't look for certificates and other things. Okay, just log into this registry. Okay, so I have just saved that file, and now if I try to log in this registry now, oh, Okay, sorry. Now, like I said earlier, by mistake you will learn more. So I have edited this daemon JSON file, but still I am getting this error. Why? Because every time you edit this daemon.json, you have to restart your Docker daemon. Okay, so to restart the Docker daemon, we have command systemctl, that is Linux command, and then stop Docker. Oh, actually, I have to use sudo. Okay, so I don't know. Let me once again use sudo system ctl status docker. Okay, so it's stopped. So now I have to use, let me clear the screen, sudo system ctl start docker, right? So now it didn't ask for the password because I have used sudo. Okay, so now try to log in. I hope I have copied the same thing. Yeah, so docker login and then the public name, and if it is in private network, then you can use the IP address. Okay, right now I am using the public IP, public name. Okay, so now test user and password is simply password unauthorized. Okay, I think I forgot the name and password. Let me just recheck what is the password I have put. So it is correct password. Okay, let me try once more time. Test user. Okay, and password is password m, which is for unauthorized. Oh, I think missed something in the htpasswd file. If I can go back. Okay, so we have ht password. Let me cat. So name is correct, test user, but somehow I gave the wrong password, I think. If I can scroll up, let me see if I can. Nope. Oh, let's see. Test user and then password. Okay, so now what I will do, right? How to fix it? I'm going to run that registry once again, and I'm going to add this a new user. Okay, so I think sometimes these mistakes are really helpful to learn more things. So let me change this to test user 1, and password is same as password. Okay, let's try. No such file or directory. Oh, okay, so let me cat that htpasswd. Now we have test user 1. Okay, okay, so now you can see login succeeded. So what was the issue? Because I think I was typing this password when I was writing, so I have just written I haven't copy paste. Actually, I was writing that command. So unfortunately, I think I have missed this password part. Okay, that's why I was not able to log in. So you have to run that command once again and give the another user. And actually, I have done this first time, but hopefully it worked. Okay, so now I have logged into this my own registry. Okay, so if you can see, warning, your password will be stored in encrypted. Okay, so right now what we have done is we have edited this daemon file, right? Docker daemon.json. But I said this is not a good way to uh, just actually, there is no part of the authentication right now, because that we are using TLS, but actually we are not checking the certificates. Okay, so to do that, what I will do, I will just copy this the private that the key from here to this uh, this server on which I'm going to log into that registry. So I will just copy the public certificate from here to here. Okay, so just a simple command. But before that, let me just edit that files once again. So sudo vi slash etc slash docker slash daemon.json. Okay, we have only 10 minutes left, so just last thing. So I think I can use dd. Yep. Okay, so there is nothing in the json daemon json. Okay, so again I have edited that json file. So what I have to do is I have to restart my docker daemon. So sudo systemctl docker sorry, stop docker. Okay, and then start docker. Okay, oh, again now what's happened, I think I was logged into that. I haven't logged out with that from that registry. Okay, so let me just check the status systemctl status docker. Actually, first I have to just logged out from that the registry. So I have made that mistake. Let me try now if I can, but docker is not running, so it will not work, I think. Yeah, so I don't know if I can start that system. Let me try once again. So system start docker. So my god, I made a big mistake. So let's fix it. There should be a something to fix it. So you got something in the error like c systemctl status docker.service and journal ctl -xc for more details. Okay, so from the systemctl, let me check if I can get more information. So let me take it to the full screen. So what is it is saying, failed to start docker application container engine unit docker service enter failed state docker service failed. Okay, so I can do one thing, let me restart the server. That is the easy way, I think. So before that, it is enabled or not? Yeah, it's enabled, so it will start the daemon. So let me just reboot the system. reboot now. Oh, it should be sudo reboot now. Okay, sorry for that miss. No problem, we will back in soon. So just ping to that machine. So this is the public IP. So if I want to check, okay, once we got the ping, we will able to log into that machine. So just wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Actually, we are at the end of the session because I have to just show you how to pull and push the image to the registry. That's it. That is the last thing I have to show you. Okay. Before that, I have to just copy that public certificate to the main host. So that is just a simple one command. So don't worry. Just give me 10 minutes more. I will take your 10 minutes and then we can wrap up. So till now, do you have any question? You can ask right now if you have. Meanwhile, it is coming. The server is coming. So let me see the status over here. It is saying, oh my God, actually I am pinging the wrong server. I have rebooted this one. So guys, do you have any question for me right now? Hello, Cecil. Are you able to hear me?